Welcome to Dairy Robot Radio, the show that provides answers to your most pressing questions about dairy farming and automation. Each episode will focus on a major topic within the dairy industry and will feature experts throughout our industry and within Lely to help provide information and different perspectives on automation. And now, here's your host, Bellana Putz.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dairy Robot Radio. I'm Bellana Putz, Customer Sales Support Manager for Lely. On today's podcast, I'd like to welcome Mariah Schmidt from Northeast Iowa Community College.
Thanks, Bellana. It's great to be here.
Mariah, why don't you start us off with a little information about the program and how the facility plays into the education of the students?
Yeah, so at Northeast Iowa Community College, we have several agriculture programs. We have agribusiness and finance, we have agronomy and crop science, beef science, large animal vet tech, John Deere tech, and then of course dairy science. So all of our agriculture students are going to be taking classes at Iowa's Dairy Center, where we have classroom space, and then we also have a working dairy farm. So what's unique about our dairy farm is that we milk about 280 cows, so we'll milk about 150 of them through our double 8 herringbone parallel style parlor. But then in 2013, we added 2 Lely A4 robots that have become a huge part of our dairy science program. And so the students, one of the coolest things about NEICC ag programs is that we do our best to have the programs and be very, very hands-on. So we strive to have about 50% of the program be classroom learning, and then the other 50% hands-on, working in labs, on the farm, things like that to really help those students learn that way. We have 2 pens for our 2 robots. One of the pens is full of Jersey cows and the others have Holsteins. So that's pretty unique that way.
And what do your students say and think about the separated breeds?
I think it's a really great way to learn and see the advantages to having them separated. With the Jerseys being about 500 pounds smaller than the Holsteins, they understand the adjustments that need to be made between the 2 breeds. And then we also use it as a really great opportunity to compare the differences in the breeds. Maybe the box time in the Jerseys is longer, and the Jerseys they'll walk through more often without getting milked. So just being able to see that hands-on and comparison is pretty neat for them as well.
So Mariah, let's talk more about what the students learn in the robot program.
So our students are at NEICC for 2 years, typically earning their Associate of Applied Science. So in those 2 years, we tried to get as much education for the students as we can and as much hands-on opportunities as we can. So one of the things that they learn throughout the dairy science program is they take a robotics course where they learn the ins and outs of the robot, talk about interpreting and analyzing the data we get from the robots, and facility design, things like that. So they learn that in that course they take between their first and second year. In their second year, they're going to do rotations on our farm here at Iowa's Dairy Center, and one of the rotations that they do is working with the robots hands-on. So they're actually going to work with our herdsman here, and he's going to show them the ins and outs of the robot, talk about maintenance, fetching cows, things like that, so they get that really hands-on experience. And then our students are also required to complete an internship. So we find that many of our students are really interested in robotics and will actually go seek out robotic dairies to intern there and learn about the robots they have on their facilities, as well as seek out positions with Lely dealers and Lely themselves in different areas. So we try to get as much education about robots as we can pack in those 2 years that they're here.
That's really great to hear the connection points that the students are making and expanding their networks. Have you had any students share with you what really excites them about robotics?
Yeah, I would say over the years you can see a shift in technology. Technology is so important, and for the young people that come here to our program, they want to be able to be on their cell phones and using laptops and, really using technology. So I think one of the most exciting things is watching a student come here all excited and eager to learn about robots, because a lot of our students are going to go back to their family's farm as the next generation, And so when they go back as the next generation, this gives them an opportunity to modernize their farm. And so when they come here all eager to learn about robots and then seeing that excitement build in them, when they can go back home, they can work with their family to maybe implement robots. And so it's just a totally different way of dairy farming and a totally different way of learning for some students, and it's really exciting.
Have you seen any shifts in students' career goals after they've been working with the robots and spent some time at your college?
Yeah. So here at NEICC, we try to give them as many experiences as they can. You know, when they come here for the first time and they're in class for the first week, they might think that they have their life figured out and that they know exactly what they want to do after their graduation. But through all the experiences here that we focus on giving them and working with robots and all of that, it's kind of fun to watch them. Some of their career goals change and what they think they want to do changes. And just the programs here and the experiences they get really kind of mold their future and just opens the doors and lets them know that there's more out there than what maybe they initially thought there was.
So, Mariah, you've given us a nice summary of what the students do. What and how do prospective students who are interested in your program get more details?
Anybody that's interested in learning more about our programs can visit neicc.edu and search for the agriculture programs we have here. We highly encourage anybody that's interested in our programs to come tour the facility and talk with our faculty here so they can learn more about what we do. The best thing for recruitment for our programs is having the farm right here. Our classrooms are on one end of the building and on the other is the farm. It's connected right to the dairy herd, and so it's so attractive to have your classrooms so close and have the farm right here. We don't have to drive anywhere. It's all here on one site. So like I said, anybody that's interested, we encourage to come for a tour and see what we have here and talk about our programs. We have a couple of visit days scheduled throughout the year. Otherwise, you can set up a one-on-one visit here with us. Anybody that's interested in applying can apply online on our website, and we actually accept applications and registrations all the way up until the day that classes start again in the fall.
Lely North America has a scholarship program that we will be coming out with next fall as well for college students, either in college or signing up for their first year as a first-year freshman. And Mariah actually was one of our recipients a few years back. So, Mariah, do you remember, and can you tell our Robot Radio audience what were some of the requirements for that scholarship program?
Yep. You had to be a member of 4-H or FFA. You had to write an essay and then get, believed it was 2 letters of recommendation. And so I remember my year writing, Bellana told me that they changed the essay topics every year, but my year it was talking about the future of the dairy industry and how robots play a role in that. And I remember talking about how I grew up on a 50-cow dairy farm. And for me, my family still milks in stanchions. And I guess for me, when I talked about in my essay was I saw robots as a way for me to go back to my family's farm. I knew that if I wanted to go back, I wouldn't want to milk cows in a stanchion barn for the rest of my life. If I would go back, I'd like to modernize and put in robots because that gave me the opportunity to embrace all of the technology and then give me a little bit more freedom on the farm instead of having to milk cows, at 5 and 5. I can just, the robots would give me such a huge opportunity. Little did I know that the year after I earned the scholarship and graduated that I would be working for Iowa's Dairy Center where we have robots here. So it's pretty neat, and I like just looking back, the scholarship really helped me through college and actually prepared me for a career working with robots.
Awesome. Well, you're certainly living out the ideology of what's behind our scholarship program. Lely, again, will be sponsoring and offering that free cash to students this fall of 2019. and the requirements will pretty much mirror what we have had in the past. And we do not limit it to students who are only going into animal science or only going into agribusiness. Take a look at that application, everybody, when we get that posted out on Lely.com. So, Mariah, I just want to appreciate you and thank you for joining me today on Dairy Robot Radio and explaining to us what the Iowa Dairy Center is and the learning program that's available for students looking for a career near the dairy industry and certainly in robotics. Thanks for joining us, and you can hear this episode as well as others at www.dairyrobotradio.com. Thanks, everybody.
You've been listening to Dairy Robot Radio, the show for dairy producers who want their questions answered by experts in dairy automation. Connect with us at dairyrobotradio.com to listen to all episodes and learn more about the topics and guests on the show. You can also find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify.